Nathan, I don't want to scare you. I mean, we're not in the Halloween season anymore. This isn't a time of ghosts and goblins. But imagine a world where there are no shared cinematic universes.
That sounds miserable.
I felt sick with those words coming out of my mouth. I thought a world where the Hulk doesn't meet Thor, where Mickey Mouse isn't patting R2-D2's head.
No.
I don't want to live in that world.
Don't. Stop it. Stop even talking about it.
Nathan, take your fingers out from your ears. I need you to hear this next part. The good news.
I can't even hear it.
No,
I don't want to hear it.
The good news is that we do live in that world thanks to Marvel movies. They convinced all of us that we want to see LeBron James talk to Daffy Duck. We want to see the alien from Aliens meeting Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca. Nathan, we're on the edge of a little mini series.
Yes.
Our first little mini series? Not counting holidays. I don't count holidays because that is a seasonal theme.
Yeah, we've never done like coming up on the next 3 weeks of.
No. But starting this week, it is going to be January Marvel month from the 1970s and 80s.
Wait, will it go into February?
I don't think so.
Okay. But yeah,
if it does, everyone can cancel their subscription because I'm a big liar.
Yeah, it's early, or it's when did TV start?
When did TV start? I mean, at least by 1982.
Okay, I was gonna say this is early TV Marvel, but then we could say, but really this is like mid TV Marvel, right?
We're starting with 1978. TV was pretty securely cemented as a force that was there to stay.
No, I think we were still wondering if it was going to kick around for a little bit.
You think it was still one channel and it was just like a guy in a suit talking about Alka-Seltzer?
I mostly listened to the radio and watched movies at the movie house in 87. Still.
Well, people had something in common to you in 1978 with the thing we're talking about because everyone else chose not to watch it either. Because we're talking about the movie Doctor Strange from 1978 that premiered on September 6th on CBS, opposite a little movie called Roots. So this movie did not do well.
Which is so unfair. It's so unfair.
It's certainly foolish programming.
Wait, was this opposite Roots like episode 3? Or was it opposite Roots 1?
I'm not sure. I mean, Roots pulled in real solid numbers the whole way through. It grew in popularity, but...
I'm just saying, like, how could you know if it was first episode versus if it's like you're in episode 3 of the miniseries?
Oh, I'm
Let's
sure.
put up this pilot.
I'm sure it was early on. I'm sure they were like, oh, a serious drama about Africa. No one's going to watch that. Not when
We're
have
still racist.
Star Peter Hooten on our side. Everyone was hooting and hollering for Peter Hooten.
Oh, butt chin himself.
Not since Kirk Douglas have we seen such a dimple on a chin. I heard that Peter Hooten like stuck his car keys in that dimple in between.
Yeah, he lost him in there?
Yeah, and then he lost them.
Honey, have you seen my keys? Yeah, they're in your chin.
It is upsetting when somebody has such a dimpled chin that it looks like a little butt. Like you want to put you want to reach over and put a tiny pair of underwear on their chin.
Give it a little wedgie.
Yeah. Call it a dork. television was having some success with Marvel in 1978 because the Incredible Hulk show was a big hit. At the same time, they were trying to introduce an Amazing Spider-Man show, which did well at first and then quickly dropped off and was canceled mid-first season. So they were in that kind of rush of Incredible Hulk doing well. They decided to go forward with a Doctor Strange show, and they decided to premiere it with this little hour-and-a-half long TV movie. Like I said, starring Peter Hooten, Jessica Walter, and Clyde Kusadu. Sorry. And John Mills is way down there, too. Academy Award winner John Mills. What's up?
Okay, so why Doctor Strange?
I was thinking about this because Doctor Strange, when you think about the Marvel properties, well, first of all, I don't know what kind of property rights were happening at that point. Of course, Marvel movies now have huge property rights, disagreements, and problems, and people who are doing everything they can. If somebody other than Disney owns the characters' film rights, they're holding on for dear life to them. Yeah. Because it's the number one way to make money in entertainment right now is to have a Marvel character. So I don't know for television rights what was available. Because in the 1970s, Marvel Comics was in one of its stretches of doing absolutely terrible for itself. Like, comics would go in waves where they would have a big pop and they were really popular, and then it would just drop off. And Marvel had stretched itself very thin. Stan Lee, the owner, was kind of taking it in a bunch of odd directions and made some bad investments. So there was a period where Marvel was doing everything they could just to not go bankrupt. Basically, up until Iron Man. Iron Man was the thing that got them out of bankruptcy. And that was a huge Hail Mary pass. Nobody thought Iron Man, with Robert Downey Jr., who at that point was the most famous for being a famous drug fancier, was going to become one of the world's biggest movies and change the way movies are made, literally.
Man.
But
so,
you're right.
Again,
sorry, get back to your question.
What?
It could be rights. That's
Why
the boring,
Doctor Strange?
That's the boring answer, is it could have been a rights issue. But let's go through and think about what would be possible on TV. First of all, it's an insane swing to make a Spider-Man TV show, because when Sam Raimi made that first Spider-Man movie, they were just at the point in special effects where they could make Spider-Man look good. Can you imagine what they would do for the TV show? Well, we're going to find out soon what they did for the TV
clips
show.
Of it.
Yeah, and it's just like a guy on a rope, right? And he's just, you see him like swing from one side to the other. I'm guessing that shot gets reused.
I think it's most of it is like him walking on a floor that they have a sideways camera on.
Oh, are they doing the Batman climbing up the wall from Batman 60s show?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Great. Can't wait.
I'll watch. We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. An Incredible Hulk, you know, that is doable on TV because it's a guy when he gets mad, and when he gets mad, you just dump green paint on Lou Ferrigno and stick a camera underneath him so he looks bigger. But the other characters, I don't know. Maybe they thought it would be too complicated, because Captain America is a period piece a lot of the time. Like if you did him during World War II.
Okay.
Or maybe they had, I think that this is where I'm going to get real shaky. I think the Captain America movie had already come out, the one that was a huge flop.
Right.
Maybe they thought that people didn't want Captain America. I don't know. This should be fun because it's like a Doctor Strange going into other dimensions. So maybe they thought like there's endless story possibilities, like Doctor Who. You know what I mean? Like he flies through the universe and meets these strange beings.
And what do they focus on? Doctor Strange at the doctor's.
They really honed in on that doctor part of the title.
Jeez. Yeah, this is more of a medical procedural than a comic movie.
Can we back up a little further? What's your past with comic books? Or what's your familiarity with Doctor Strange, with Marvel, with superheroes, et cetera, et cetera?
So I didn't have comic books when I was a kid. Like I would get some, like because I knew people got them. Like my cousin would get them and stuff, and he was big into them. And I looked at them, but I just didn't care about reading. I don't know. I just didn't matter. It didn't matter how many pretty pictures there were. So I didn't really care much about them. I liked. I preferred Mad Magazine and Cracked and stuff like that, you know, to actual like weekly or whatever, monthly comics, whatever. But then when the movies came out, I casually watched them, and then I decided I was going to. I think there was like kind of a you know, when the Disney like thing really kicked in, and like the Marvel movies started to like the Avengers ones started happening. That's when I thought, oh, maybe I'll just go through all these. And so I went through all of the Marvel movies. And then ever since then I've just kept up with them because I like them. And Doctor Strange, I didn't know anything about until the Benedict Cumberbatch version.
Okay.
Which I like, and which, you know, I was kind of excited to watch this one because I thought, you know, those are fun. Like maybe this one will be as fun, but no. But we'll see. I mean, it's fine. We'll get into it.
This is going to be an episode where if you are a comic book fan, and especially if you're a big fan of the Doctor Strange comic, guess what? Neither Nathan or I know this lore. And we don't know the comic. And I apologize for that right now. But on the other hand, you should be able to step into this show not knowing anything about the comic and be able to get into the universe, understand what's happening, and you know, want to see these characters doing more. So that's my defense for not knowing the character. Guess what? You shouldn't have to have read an encyclopedia on something to enjoy the thing that you're watching.
Well, and especially like, I mean, how big was Doctor Strange outside of the TV show? Like Spider-Man and Hulk, you could be like, oh, everyone has that as a kind of a memory, or they'll see that, you know, but like,
it was a big comic, but it was more of a cult comic because he's not a superhero, you know, like a Superman or that kind of thing. It's a little bit, it's traveling the cosmos. It's a little bit more crazy fantasy. I didn't know what the story was to Doctor Strange, but I had looked a lot at the artwork because Steve Ditko, the artist who, you know, depending on who you talk to, created Doctor Strange and created the universe. It was late 60s whenever it really kicked in. So he would do these huge 2-page spreads of these big psychedelic universes and huge, bright, swirling colors and people made of galaxies and people who are as big as the Earth, like really trippy LSD style artwork. It's very beautiful, which is why when I saw the Benedict Cumberbatch, I was really disappointed because there's none of that. It's supposed to look like this crazy universe, and it's just kind of like Inception, like the house gets all bendy-wendy.
Yeah.
And I also don't ever understand why you cast Benedict Cumberbatch and you have him play American, because his American always kind of sounds a little off. He has such a great voice. Just make Doctor Strange British. Who cares?
I just love that. Like, yeah, it is totally like, I am Doctor Strange. Like, and he's better than that.
One
but it is, you can hear,
cheeseburger,
like,
please.
Yeah, he's really enunciating. He's not as cool and casual as Tom Holland.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange movie kind of just passed through my brain as I watched it. I really didn't retain much of it.
Well, get ready, because the new one's coming.
Is there a straight up just Doctor Strange sequel, or is he being jammed in everything else?
Okay. That's the next Marvel release.
Okay. And it's mandatory viewing for all of America. Every Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's mandatory. We all go get COVID. This Doctor Strange universe, how to put it? Let's see. It starts
This
off.
is more demonic. This one's more demonic. Like this one seems to be more. Like I feel like the Doctor Strange of today is more about like time.
Yes.
And this one's more about like magic and wizardry and evil, like
I'm pretty sure there's
evil wizardry.
I think there's a lot more of that in the comic. I mean, they do call the character head sorcerer, and there are like pentagrams and occult symbolism and all this stuff going on. And I think it is more about talking about the ideas of evil incarnate in the universe as a force that you're battling against, and going interdimensionally.
Is Morgan Fay?
Morgan Le Fay is apparently she's the villain of this piece. Apparently she is a villain who appears a lot in the Avengers and in some other stuff. I didn't see a ton of references to her being a villain for Doctor Strange in the comics, but she is an evil sorceress in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
And I like how this program began. It was one of those things where
she's in she's in
This can't wait.
I thought she was in this. No, it cannot. She's in the new the WandaVision.
That's Morgan Le Fay. Okay, who Catherine Hahn plays.
And not Catherine Hahn. I'm sorry. Don't kill me, everyone. Not she's in the show Runaways. That's what I meant to say. Not WandaVision.
Okay.
She's in the show Runaways. That was on Hulu, I think.
It is good that you said that, because somebody would be hopping up and down knowing the same thing and being upset about it.
Yeah. No, she's the the former CEO of Wizard. She's a high priestess. Okay. But no, it's played by Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh, okay. Still working.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She's working in this, let me tell you.
Well, Jessica Walter working as well in this. It was really fun seeing her, and I first saw her in Arrested Development playing the mom. So it was great seeing her young and hot and having a lot of fun, like playing it to the heavens.
Yeah, this was I know. I'd never seen her outside of Arrested Development or whatever.
But this movie starts in a way that I've seen
That's
enough.
What you're talking about, right?
Yes. I've started the sentence 3 times. Let's see if fourth is the charm.
Sorry.
This movie starts. I've seen enough bad movies or low budget movies to where it starts and I was really into it because we're in this weird claymation hell with this strange animated big demon talking to Jessica Walter as a mistress of evil. And I was like, ooh, this is going to be cool. And then I thought, I bet we're going to be stuck on Earth in some boring set until the last 15 minutes of the movie. And then they'll spend the rest of the special effects budget. And boy, was I right.
Because, it was.
Yeah.
And it was like, it totally was like an episode of like Trapper MD or something.
Yeah, they're discussing. I honestly, for as much time as they had to explain all this lore, and I guess they explain it, I also was kind of lost as to what exactly was going on, or maybe more why it was happening. because the demon says that he wants her to kill the successor of the great wizard on Earth, who is a force of good. And so Jessica Walter goes to Earth in non-sorceress dress form, possesses a young woman to momentarily shove the old wizard off a bridge and have him get hit by a car, assume he's dead, and then walk off. That was her plan.
Yeah.
Shove him off a bridge.
Yeah. And she failed.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, this, her like taking over this lady's body, it leaves an impression on that lady, and she ends up going crazy, essentially.
Why exactly?
Sort of.
Why did she need to possess the other person's body? Is it to catch the guy off guard?
Yeah, so that he doesn't see her.
Yeah. Although the way the
'Cause he
sequence
knows who
plays
she is.
the way the sequence plays out, it seems like she could just run up behind him real fast and do it. She can appear and disappear at whim. She could appear behind him and push him real quick.
Yeah, but doesn't he also have kind of like a way to not see that or something? Or a way to see that? I don't know. He does a little thing with his fingers, and then all of a sudden everything's fixed. I don't know.
I guess, but you would think that he could sense her in the person she's possessing if he can sense her spirit.
Yeah, it's a lot of just random things kind of happen in this that don't. It just feels like it all has to happen this way. Otherwise, how will this story work with all the characters they have?
Well, that is definitely what fuels this movie is, well, we have to fit them in somewhere.
Yeah. Now, of course, we should say, and if we haven't, that this was essentially like they used to always do. This was filmed as a pilot for the show that would come, and then I don't know if they decide, oh, we're not making the show, or if they air it and then they go, oh, we're not making the show.
I assume that they aired this, it did nothing with ratings, and they said never mind.
Oh yeah, which is so stupid when you say, like, okay, you're up against Roots, and Roots happens, and it's a phenomenon. Wouldn't someone go, yeah, but that was Roots? How? I mean, we need to air this another night or do something with it.
Unless this is a Puchinsky situation where they made it, realized it was not playing too well, and then said, well, we did spend money on this. We need to at least show this once because we've blown too much cash on it.
The biggest issue with this is definitely because I felt like at the end of this, I thought I would watch this show. I would watch the show because the beginning of it, no, I'm not interested in the medical aspect of it. But then in the end, when he has the magic powers and he's healing people and all that kind of stuff, like I'm like, I would watch that show. That would be a fun, interesting show.
Yeah, but the TV show would have less effects than the movie would. You'd spend a lot of time in that psych ward. That brown psych ward.
I mean, you could just do a thing where you just, they recorded him falling through the thing. They could just keep that and just repeat it. And then you pop him into the cave, or wherever he's going to be. So I think they could have made it work. But him healing people, when I saw that at the end, I thought, oh, that's a great take.
That's
now
because
where does it go from there?
You keep pitching that Jesus TV show, and it's just
I
him
just can't stop
healing people constantly by touching them with his hand.
And flying through the cosmos.
If this show had leaned into, like I said, like a Doctor Who type of thing where he was traveling to different universes every week, that would be fun. I don't know that they'd go that goofy with it.
You don't want to see him on a date with that girl?
Well, of course. I would watch a Bachelor style show with old Hooten.
I would pay money for that. Okay, so who is the actress that plays that girl? What's her name?
The woman he falls in love with?
Yes.
That is Anne Marie Martin?
Yeah,
and
she
in
was
the show
married
or
to in the show or in real life.
In real life, she was married to Michael Crichton.
Yes.
Yeah. And is a co-writer of the movie Twister.
Oh, she co-wrote it.
Or at least there's two ways to look at it. Either she co-wrote it, or seeing as she got divorced from Michael Crichton, said after the fact, I told him to write a movie about a tornado. And then legally is getting paid for that after the fact.
That's funny. It's in the divorce papers.
Stranger things have happened. Do we want to hear the music that plays whenever the sorceress comes to Earth? This is the music John Carpenter-esque theme music for the sorceress. Pretty good.
So right before this happened, they cut to the scene where you hear the what you just heard, where someone's walking or whatever. My wife gets up and she goes, I think I'm going to go to bed. This is a little, and she made a little joke. She said, this is a little too strange. And then that music starts and she goes, that music's not though. And I was like, absolutely. The music is amazing. She stuck around to hear that.
That's as good as the music gets in this show. I had high hopes for the music of this show. It's all the other stuff is pretty whatever.
There's a YouTube video. If you search Doctor Strange and then the guy who wrote the music, there's a YouTube video that is just the music from the show.
Oh, okay. And he put it up.
And there's what's that?
And he put it up. The composer put it up.
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
I think someone just ripped it from the show. I didn't listen all the way through to hear any sound effects or anything. But at the end, there's another kind of version of this that really goes deeper, and there's like some, it sounds like Italian
giallo music,
horror movie. Yeah, and it has like really great guitars and stuff. And to me, it sounded like an Aesop Rock album. For all those Aesop Rock fans out there.
You must have been rapping over that like crazy.
I did a little freestyle rip rap.
Or as my father would say, you'd be talking jive like a rapster.
Is that what he would say?
At one point, he had a dream that I was a rap artist, and he said, I had a dream that you were talking jive like a rapster.
What, did you just laugh as loud as you could in his face?
I didn't know what to say for a minute. It was just like such a sitcom line.
He said rapster. My dad one time was like, we were making fun of him for music he listens to or something. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, I don't listen to Tommy Two-Tone and the Flip Jibbers.
He really got you.
He did. He zinged me big.
We've been talking about it, but boy, we've seen a woman attempt a murder of an old man. We've seen the bowels of interdimensional hell. That takes about maybe 10 minutes, a little less than 10 minutes. Let's get into where we spend most of the show, the psych ward of a hospital in New York that our hero, Stephen Strange, works at. And he works in a psych ward, as I said before, that is the brown wing. Everything here is brown.
And he's kind of like a, he's like who's the guy on MASH who's like the doctor who's like a goofball.
You're asking the wrong person. You mean is it
Well,
Alan Alda's character?
Maybe he's kind of like a character who's like one of these doctors. Like he shows like they're all like he's like a womanizer and like those ladies. You're late again, doctor. And he's like, oh well, what are they gonna do about it? Like kind of attitude. Like he just like shows up late, does whatever.
Personality. His only personality trait is sometimes he is late for meetings.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he is.
By the way, is it Hawkeye? Is Hawkeye the guy who we're talking about? Smooth talker.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe.
Regardless, like I had no idea what Doctor Strange's character was, and I just watched a whole movie about him. They kind of allude to the fact that he gets a lot of dates. They kind of allude to the fact that he's late to meetings. That's pretty much it. He's just there and he wants to be a good doctor, but there's nothing. It's like Iron Man. He's brilliant. He's arrogant. But he wants, ultimately he wants to do good and he's a good guy. Incredible Hulk. Brilliant scientist. He's always mad. If he gets mad, he's going to turn into a Hulk, so he tries to keep himself cool all the time. Doctor Strange. He's a doctor. He's a doctor who likes people.
I feel like they wanted his character to be like more of a kind of a rebel, like a guy like, like he's always late, but he gets the job done. Like, like he's all, but he has such little personality.
Yeah.
That it doesn't really pull it off.
Part of the reason is definitely that actor, right? He's very bug-eyed for a guy with normal size eyes.
Old curly top.
Old curly top and mustache.
What else has he been in? That name's familiar.
Nothing of any, like his biggest role is Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I mean, truly, it is like teeny tiny extra roles or uncredited roles in Mannix and the Waltons.
Okay, well, good for him for getting his first big break.
I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Must have knocked it out of the park in that audition.
You show up with that butt chin, man, you're gonna knock him dead. Is a butt chin a desirable trait or not?
I definitely have heard women saying like, the term strong chin. So if you got a strong chin,
is that considered a strong chin? I thought like Jay Leno's not a strong chin.
That's like a roided out chin.
Yeah. You want to put like a wife beater on his chin? Yeah. So I guess he kind of looks like a good, like, I guess he's a good looking guy, right?
I mean, we've talked about this. 70s is a time where you have to be told that a man is good looking by what you're watching because it's very hard to tell.
I was trying to think about it and I was looking at him and I was trying to put my head in the mind of a 70s modern woman. And I thought, okay, he's a good looking guy. I thought he was a good looking guy, I guess, but I guess it's hard for me. Like whenever I hear all the time, or I watch shows all the time where the womanizer, and I'm like, why is this guy considered a person who's like always getting chicks or whatever? Mm-hmm. But like, I'm like, who is? And then I'll talk to my wife or someone, and they're like, oh yeah, definitely. I'm like, oh, okay, what do I know?
I guess
they're not my type.
I think Peter Hooten would read as more handsome if he did not have a furry little curly mustache and a furry little curly head of hair. So it looks like he is on a bag of a Halloween costume. It says Disco Man.
Yeah, he definitely has a Tom Hanks in Bosom
Buddies.
Bosom Buddies. Yeah, I was gonna say Bosom Brothers. Bosom Buddies. Look, just definitely a big or in big, except a little tighter curl.
I think something about Peter Hooten's face. And I mean, look, hey, he's a good-looking guy. He's had a hard career. We shouldn't be analyzing him so deep. His face is it's very wide open.
So that's why you think the ladies get their legs
Well,
open.
I think that's why I don't find him good as the movie's hero, because he just looks a little spacey. He doesn't look focused.
He also spends most of the movie, I guess Benedict Cumberbatch character is a little not very heroic at first. But I feel like in this movie, it's like the whole movie, this guy's just like some greasy doctor.
Well, there's
and in the last 5 minutes, he becomes a hero.
There's no learning arc for him, or there's no character arc for like morality, because from what I can remember of Doctor Strange in the comics, isn't he a brilliant surgeon and he has tons of money? It's very Tony Stark, but less charming Tony Stark. He's just kind of an ass, like a house.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it in the movie, at least.
Right. That's how they shaped the character. And so him going into this journey where he is doing things altruistically is his character arc. In this, he's just kind of there. He doesn't know what's going on. Then he's told what's going on, and then he just kind of does it. And he has no personality. He's just kind of a flat line who's along for the ride.
But also he's like because at first he rejects it. He's like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be I'm not going to call you master. The older guy who would be teaching him everything or whatever. He's like, I'm not going to let you teach me this stuff. I'm my own man. And then and his whole thing is that he's just like dating. He's like, it's this patient, he cures her, and then she gets turned on by him, and then he's like, oh, I'm not supposed to sleep with patients. And she's like, well, I'm not a patient anymore. And then all bets are off. He's all in. And then he gets seduced by Morgan instantly. And he's on a date with the girl. Morgan shows up, takes him away, and he instantly goes to be with her instead. Within 3 minutes.
Well, I think
of being on a date with this other girl.
I think that we're supposed to read in that Morgan is doing a little bit of mind control to him.
Okay.
Also, she says that if you stay with her, I'm going to keep possessing her or bothering her. If you leave with me, she'll be set free. That's why initially he goes journey through.
But then when he's there, he's like, oh man, you're hot.
Well, I mean, every time that something like that happened, it seems too justified. It's like the old guy who we haven't really talked about, the head wizard or the head sorcerer says, oh, I'm getting old. You're the next in line to be the sorcerer. You need to stay with me and call me master and live a life as a sorcerer. Not having done anything to prove himself to this guy, really. So I was like, that's very understandable that he would say that. And then
he did make the doctor's boss change his mind about a meeting.
And then in terms of the LaRue stuff, I mean, it's her. She looks great. She takes him to another planet. She puts a big gold necklace on him. She gives him the power to shoot lightning bolts out of his hands. He goes, you want to make out? And I'm like, yeah, this is a great deal that she's offering. There's no downside.
But then he rejects it. He ends up escaping, and then he's back with the girl like nothing happened. Like he didn't just almost go to bed with Morgan.
It resets the time continuum, kind of.
But not for him, though.
Not for him.
He had no shame.
He has the...
He had no guilt.
Well, don't worry, because he's told that he can't have children if he's going to be a sorcerer.
Oh, he can't have children?
He that's part of the vow, is you don't have offspring.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, because he was I don't, that is not explained. It's just kind of said. It's in the comics, I guess. So it's not
is
like,
there any stuff in the comic where he's like, man, I really wish I could have kids?
I don't know. I don't know if there's an issue of Doctor Strange where he's just looking at adoption brochures.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Why does that even matter if he never talks about it?
I do not know. I'm guessing that it's something that is dealt with. Maybe he gets in a relationship with this woman and she wants kids and he has to say, I'm sorry, I'm a sorcerer. I don't know.
Yeah, but she doesn't know he's a sorcerer.
Not yet. I'm sure that would be revealed. Well, number one, it's definitely been revealed in a comic several times by now. Okay. As Doctor Strange has been in publication for a long time, and comics only have so many stories to cycle through.
Well, and in the movies, I mean, everyone knows everyone in the movies, but...
That's true. Hey, small town.
Yeah, New York.
There is a play. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to mention that my favorite location sign in this New York set is there is a children's clothing store, and it advertises it has the sizes Chubbies, Huskies, and Slims.
Say it again.
Chubbies, Huskies, and Slims as children's clothing sizes.
I love that set because that is the that's supposed to be like one of the 5 boroughs. You know, it's supposed to be like a project. Mm-hmm. Because there's graffiti everywhere. The bus, like someone's graffitied Black Power on the bus.
Right.
And like there's just a little kid who looks like one of the Fat Albert kids is riding a bike through the thing. And then it's like they just took one of those brownstone studio sets and just, threw some trash on the ground and then put that Chubbies and Huskies sign on there. They're like, welcome to the real New York.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of
By the way,
yeah.
Like, he's never walking in an area like that. And then out of nowhere, he just goes there.
He goes there
like
because that's where the sorcerer's apartment is. The sorcerer's huge 3-story apartment is there.
But it's never, but you don't, okay. But I feel like, the girl lives right around the corner or something.
I'm not going to get into the geography of this show. I don't know how extensively they laid out us feeling space in this made-for-TV movie, which I'm assuming was shot in 2 weeks.
That's what I really felt about this, was that New York was really another character in this.
That's an interesting take. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like the city was like another character.
Whoa, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool. One time I was in New York and I remember, this is a true story. I remember I had been drinking and I was walking around and I looked at one of the buildings and all the windows and I thought, man, everybody here has a story. And immediately I thought, oh, I've had way too much to drink, if that is something I'm thinking.
Man, everyone here has a story.
I was immediately disgusted with myself.
So, I mean, look, this, so much time is spent on nothing happening interesting.
No,
that we really kind of tackled this.
People walk around in the hospital psych ward. People walk around in the stucco covered brown curtained sorcerer's apartment.
Yep.
People walk around on the streets of New York and look fearfully at each other as they think about attacking each other, but they don't. And then in the last 10 minutes of the movie, everybody gets lightning bolt hands and starts shooting each other. And a demon runs out and he yells at it. A demon voiced by Ted Cassidy, who played Lurch on The Addams Family.
Oh, wow.
And the sorceress is defeated and turns into an old gnome. This all sounds
because
very exciting.
She was old. She was old. She is an old person, but she gets her looks, her young, youthful looks, from being in service to this demon.
That's right. And the old sorcerer dies, and then he comes back, and Doctor Strange gets all of his powers transferred from the old sorcerer to him. Also, the old Doctor Strange was given these really cool looking black and red robes by the sorceress. And he comes back and he's like, okay, well, you're dressed for the occasion. And when he gets the old sorcerer's powers, he is given the dorkiest Ice Capades costume.
It's the greatest American hero.
It is. Like these purple silky tights.
Yeah, purple and a yellow lightning bolt or whatever.
Oh.
Or whatever is on his chest. It's such a bummer. It's like, man, he had such a cool outfit. And it looks like the outfit, the original outfit looks more like the outfit in
the comics.
The movie. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's so strange. It's like, why did they change it? It looked powerful, and now he looks like such a dingus. I mean, the curly hair does not help that outfit.
No. So but then he comes back, and then he has saved the girl, and the girl forgets what happens. But then Morgan Le Fay is back as like a self-help guru,
right?
And the girl does not recognize her now. She forgot of her time with her.
Well, what hit me was they see her in a shop window being interviewed on TV, and Le Fay is saying, oh, yes, I have all these young women coming to me for help, and I teach them the Le Fay way of thinking, which is clearly some sort of like mind control thing that she's putting a spell on all these young girls and setting up a cult. Yeah. And I was like, that's an interesting plot line and understandable. Why didn't you do that plot line for the movie?
Yes. That should have been the opening bit.
Yes.
Like, and then you go from there. And then how do we deal with that?
Right. Yeah, I know. I don't know why they were like, well, I mean, when we go to series, we can have this. Never think you'll go to series. Never think you'll have a sequel. Just do everything you want in the first thing.
Yeah. So then it ends with he's just kind of Doctor Strange is walking through a
Central Park,
the park, Central Park, yeah. And there's a magic show happening there, and it's he makes the guy's magic trick be a little bit more real magic. And the guy's like, oh my gosh, like he says there's going to be a ball that appears in his hand, and it's like a dove appears or whatever, a flower or something, and then it just kind of fades away on him, realizing he's a real magician or whatever. But the guy who plays the magician who is it? Larry Anderson, is that his name?
You tell me, you're the one who found this out.
Yes, he's a very famous magician.
Well, what I love about the scene where Doctor Strange gooses up his magic trick is he's just been told, you have all this power. It is like a child having a gun. It can hurt other people and hurt you. So you have to learn about it and be really careful. So immediately, Doctor Strange uses his powers to screw with a magician's magic trick.
Right. Okay, so Larry Anderson was like a famous actor, but he also did he also co-starred with Lucille Ball as her son-in-law on the show Life with Lucy.
Had a lot of bit parts.
Yeah, but then he also he hosted. Oh, he also portrayed Ronald McDonald in at least one TV commercial. But he hosted all of these. I guess he hosted like some TV shows or something. But he used to do these things called Jaw Droppers video collections, which were like magic, instructionals.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the best thing though is he was a Scientologist for 33 years, and he starred in the orientation film that you would watch when you became a Scientologist. And he recently, in 2009, he left the church and he wanted his money back, which of course I'm sure he did not get.
I think he's still in litigation from them. Isn't that what the story said? For $120,000 that he's paid them, and he says he hasn't.
He's probably paid that to his lawyers already.
Yeah. I mean, that's how they get you, right? Huh?
Yeah.
Those cars you win on a game show. Hey, you pay taxes on that. That's not free.
Yeah. So lots of fun stuff in this show, except the actual show.
Yeah, if you want to see some fun 70s action, I'd say you can watch the beginning and then skip around to the end. You will not miss much.
Find the music.
Of course, purchase the music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Email Nathan, ask him for the link.
I'll give you the link. You just got to find the email address.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've business savvily have hidden. No, what is our email address? I think it's networkspecialpodcast@gmail.com. Please email us there if you have any questions.
Have we ever checked that email?
Forwarded to my email address.
Oh, I see.
It gets forwarded to my email address, I'm pretty sure.
And how many emails we sitting on?
Let me take a quick gander.
Take a quick look.
I'm going to guess and say mostly spam and Twitter updates.
I will say I am looking to extend my manhood, if you know what I mean. Is there any links for a guy like me?
Oh, yeah, but that's coming from the listeners, not from spam.
Oh. Wow. I like what I'm hearing a lot.
All right, I'll tell you right now. Let's see if I go to all mail. And
all mail. I'm liking what I'm hearing.
96 emails. 96 emails. And all of these have been forwarded to me. So
okay.
But yeah, just like I said, a lot of TikTok and Twitter notices. No one caring enough to write into the show.
Well, listeners, you know what to do.
Give us a ring.
Give us a ring. Yeah. Email us. I worked with a person. This was in 1998 when people didn't just universally know about email. And she was talking on the phone to a client. And we had these big, thick brochures that we'd send people. And she goes, "Oh, yeah, we have all these brochures. I'll email you one." And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "I'll just email it to you." And he goes, "Do you know what email is?" And she goes, "Not really."
Oh, that's great. One time I was in church and
here we go.
Someone was here we go.
Here we go.
Heard the good news. Someone was I was sitting next to these older ladies, and the pastor was telling some hilarious tale about how he used to have a mullet, and they laughed so hard at the mention of the word mullet, and then one of them said, "What's a mullet?" And the other one said, "I don't know."
Sometimes you hear a joke and it's just the timing of what you're hearing is so good. Just the rhythm of comedy will make you laugh. A kind of like Pavlov's dog reaction.
Yeah.
You gotta slobber.
Bless those ladies.
R.I.P.
Yeah, so we started off our Marvel series with a big bang.
I'm very curious because I have not seen the live action Spider-Man or Incredible Hulk movies.
No.
I'm very curious to see how they stack up against each other. Is this going to be the most action-packed one that we see? Yeah, how much of the newsroom, walking around the newsroom, is Peter Parker going to do? How much of the Incredible Hulk is going to be him thoughtfully walking across like a farmland or something like that? Or a laboratory. Oh, is it going to be flashbacks of him in the lab? Maybe.
Yeah. I think the movie for Hulk that we watch, it comes after the TV show. So I think by then they'll have figured out what makes a good episode. Okay. So this one will probably be more action packed.
Do we want
the Spider-Man one? I think was a pilot. Maybe I can't remember.
Do we want to guess now the order that we think we're going to like these in, and then see what we say after the fact? I think it's going to be the best is going to be Hulk, then Strange, then Spider-Man.
I think maybe Hulk, Spider-Man, then Strange.
Okay,
that's what I think.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. It's going to be Marvel Month, and we're so excited. Join the rest of America.
Like and subscribe. Go to TikTok. We have a TikTok. It's been seeing a lot of action lately. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter. I try to post something daily about whatever it is we're watching. And yeah, I mean, come on. What else you got in life? What else you got going on?
And yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.